All right, good morning. Today is the last day in July. I believe it's Wednesday, July 31st. Riley and I are... Riley, come on, ready? Good boy. Riley and I are ready to get started with the hiking. Got my pack on my back already. Just gotta strap Riley up. So today is day number 90, Wednesday, July 31st. This was our campsite. Very nice campsite last night. Lots of room. I don't usually use the fire rings or anything, but they have a nice fire ring set up with some flat stone ledges for seats. And this is where we set up our tent. It did rain last night. It didn't rain like super heavily throughout the night, but it rained heavily in a short spurt, I guess, and then it kind of drizzled for a bit. That's where our tent was. You can kind of see how where our tent was, the pine needles are lighter in color because they're still dry, and then everything around it is a little darker because it's still damp. Okay, Riley. AT is over here. We're going to get back on and we're going to continue that way going northbound. Yeah, so we're starting the day here. We're in Pennsylvania. We are getting close to being done with Pennsylvania. We're about 40 miles south of Delaware Water Gap. Currently about mile 1257. Delaware Water Gap is about mile 1297. So I'm thinking we should be able to get to Delaware Water Gap within 3 days. So sometime on Friday, I'm thinking we'll get there. And there is a church that allows hikers to stay in bunk beds at the church. I think it's called Church of the Mountain. So that's definitely an option for us to stay there on Friday night. But if we get there like early in the day on Friday, then we'll probably just pass on through and keep hiking it a little to get further on the trail. I think we're getting off to our typical start today. It just always takes a long time to get ready in the morning and get the camp broken down and ready to get hiking. But because of the rain last night, there's it still feels kind of cool, and the sky's clouded over, so it doesn't feel hot yet. So good hiking weather to start the day. We're about 3 miles south of George Outerbridge Shelter, and just after the shelter, about 1/10 of a mile north, there's supposed to be a good water source, and that is the last good water source directly on trail for about the next 20 miles, I think. I just read that 20-mile comment, like in a far out comment related to the George Outerbridge Shelter. I didn't verify that based on looking at all the water sources, but I do know that there's just not a lot of water sources coming up. So we're gonna fill up on water there, drink up on water, and then try to conserve it as much as we can for the rest of the day. And there will probably be some road crossings that we get to where there are water caches. So if and when we get there, then we'll be able to drink up there and replenish our water without needing to worry about conserving it. Riley. All right, so I'm gonna clean this up and we will check in later. So we're still early in the day here, and we just got to this little view spot. We're about 2 miles south of the George Outerbridge Shelter, and you can see the river down below. I think that's the Lehigh River, because we're approaching something called Lehigh Furnace Gap in my guidebook. And there's nearby towns of Palmerton and I think Walnutport, but definitely Palmerton. So that might be Palmerton over there. And then off in the distance you can see lots of trees with pockets of, I guess, farmland. Today's actually a good day to be hiking through the, just this area where there's not a lot of water, because it's all clouded over and it rained last night, and it seems like there's a potential that it's not going to be a hot day. It can always get warmer, but so far it doesn't seem too bad. So that will definitely help prevent Riley and I from needing to drink a ton of water. Obviously we're going to need some water. I need to help Riley with encouragement. Come on, Riley. This way. Come on. Let's take the actual AT and not the bypass route around the tree. There actually was just a short, maybe like a couple hundred feet back, there was an option to take a Blue Blaze bypass route instead of the actual AT, and the bypass route, the sign said it rejoins the AT in 1.5 miles. And I guess that's just to avoid this open area if it's bad weather. There's a few areas in the AT where there are options to take a bypass route, but like up in the Whites, if there's bad weather, you just gotta make a decision as to whether you're comfortable hiking through it or if you need to not go out on an exposed area until the weather improves. Or you might be out in the exposed area and bad weather comes in and you just gotta deal with it. Anyway, but this is an option where there was a bypass route and the weather's fine, so we are staying on the actual white blazed Appalachian Trail. More views of the Lehigh Valley to our left. And some gigantic towers. I think those are TV towers. I don't really know. My guidebook says TV tower, but they could be used for whatever. All right, Van Gogh and Riley here checking in. The day has warmed up, as it seems to often do. When it starts off with the clouds in the skies and you can't really see the sun, it's so easy to think that it's just going to continue like that all day. It's so easy to... I often, even though I know better, I often think, well, it might just continue all day. But the sun did break through, and up there, I guess, there's still clouds, but there's also large patches without any clouds, like over there. And Riley requested a break a little while ago because he was getting hot and he was panting, so we took a break. This section we're walking through, I think we're getting close to the end of this exposed section, and we should be rejoining back up with the bypass route pretty soon, and then soon after that getting to the shelter and the water source. But this section here just seems like a nice section. Lots of low vegetation, low plants, and then the trees are, I would say, medium in size. There was a section just a short while before this where the trees were even sparser. And I was thinking that it reminded me a lot of the Florida Trail, where there's just lots of sections where there's low vegetation and the trees that you're walking through are not very tall and they're not super dense either. And you generally have good views of the sky. Just a thought that came into my mind. Just reminded me of the FT. There's a nice campsite there. Another thing I've noticed is that the days are in fact getting shorter. We are, I guess the longest day of the year is supposed to be on June 21st, I think. I think I'm right about that. And we're at July 31st now. And I remember earlier in the hike, just earlier in the hike, but like around June 21st and before that, it seemed like I could hike till like 9:30 before it really started to get dark. And like around 8 p.m., between 8 and 9, it was often just, the sun was still very bright in the sky and everything just seemed to be very well illuminated. Definitely at 8 o'clock. But recently I've been noticing that it definitely seems to be getting darker earlier. Like last night, we around 8:30, which was just before the time that we got to our camp, it was almost like totally dark at that point. So the days are definitely getting shorter. And Riley's feeling the heat here. He's doing a good job of picking out the shady spots to sit down and request a break. Yeah, so just wanted to say the days are getting shorter, and they're going to continue to get shorter as we get further on out of the summer and into the northern part of the hike. All right, so this is George Outerbridge Shelter. We actually came down that way, and for some reason I thought the trail continued this way. So I went that way, but then realized that no, I think the trail just goes right down, right in front of the shelter. And the water source should just be beyond the shelter. Spring this way. So this is the shelter. It's got another sign for spring. Very nice. Looks like an old shelter. Definitely an old shelter. Come on, Riley. Come on, buddy. So we're gonna get to the spring, and I am completely out of water. I was actually completely out of water this morning, but I knew that the spring was the water source was only 3 miles away. So that's why I was comfortable using up all our water this morning. And we're gonna fill up our 4 liters, and I'm gonna drink up so I'm not thirsty anymore, and I'm gonna give Riley food and water. I always say food and water because like when I just give him water, sometimes he doesn't drink it. So plus he needs food, and when I put the water in the food with the food, he does drink up all the water. After we get to the spring, we're going to be descending down the mountain to a big road where 1.5 miles to the west, I believe, is Palmerton. And then towns of Walnutport and Slatington are to the east, I think. Not totally sure about the directions, but Palmerton, Slatington, and Walnutport. But Walnutport and Slatington are both 2 miles away in the same direction. Palmerton is 1.5 miles away. A lot of hikers, or some hikers, do go into those towns. Some of them walk, I suppose. Some of them are able to get rides, but no need for Riley and I to go in. We have plenty of food. I prefer going into the towns that the trail goes directly through, unless it's absolutely necessary. So, all right, so let's just make sure Riley's secure here. Oh, that big guy. So this is my new method for securing Riley. I still use the hip belt, and then I just clip it around the two arm straps. All right, so here's the spring. It's got a nice, yeah, this is beautiful here. All right. Riley and I have done our business here. We're about ready to continue on. We drank up about 2 liters between us, with his food and water that I gave him, and I probably drank a little over a liter, and Riley probably drank a little bit less than a liter. But we have 4 liters on us now, and I have also, this might be too much information, but I feel like everything is too much information. I also have my, what is this? This is my peanut butter jar that I've filled with instant brown rice. It's not really instant brown rice, but it will hydrate once it's soaked in water. So I've already filled this up with water. So I'm just gonna put this in my pocket, and this will soak up. Will hydrate during the day, and it'll be ready to eat tonight, and that way I won't have to use additional water tonight to hydrate my rice. And in my right pocket, I'd already started hydrating Riley's, this is his freeze-dried food, and I gave half of this to him just now to eat, and then I filled the rest up with water, so it's going to be extra hydrated. And this is also like another source of water for us later today. But I wanted to just, I was just curious, I'm kind of curious about these springs. So there's basically 2 water sources on trail. There's water from a stream, which is just or a creek or something like that, which is just flowing water and fish can live in it and stuff. And there's springs. And a spring, I'm not a spring expert, but my understanding is basically it's just like water that flows underneath the ground, and there's various points where it will be able to surface above ground and collect in a small pool that you can either just dip something into the pool to collect the water, or you can, in this case, you can actually access it from a flow, or there might be some flow to it. Usually there's going to be a good flow in a stream, whereas in a spring, there might not be a good flow, but there should be a good source of water in some pool that you can dip into. Like dip a jar into and then fill up your water bottles. So here, I was just curious, someone has, probably a long time ago, I don't want to mess this up, but just there must be water just flowing through the ground, and someone inserted a pipe into the ground here to right where the water's flowing, and now it just collects in this basin, and then it empties out here, and then where does it go? Where does it go? Apparently there must just be enough of an opening for it to continue to seep into the ground and continue on its merry way underground. And then this is just the place where people are able to access it. So this is a big deal. I mean, just like this particular water source is a big deal because it's the last on-trail good water source, like reliable water source. Basically for like 30 miles. I mean, I'll find out more as I get further on trail, but my guidebook shows two symbols for water. It shows like a full water drop, meaning a reliable water source, and then like a half water drop, meaning an unreliable or seasonal water source. And all the water sources north of here for the next 30 miles are the half water drop, seasonal water sources. So those water sources are often dry this time of year. Anyway, so that's a very important water source. Good thing we're hydrated, and hopefully there's some water caches further north. Yeah, so we're gonna get going, and we'll check in later. About to cross a bridge. Looks like there's an important sign here. The chain toll bridge that once spanned the Lehigh River was erected by engineer Jacob Bloomer at a cost of $1,200. Its location south of this site provided the only river crossing and access to the Lehigh Canal for local slate haulers until building of the Slatington Walnutport Bridge in 1854. After being partially destroyed by fire in 1925, the chain bridge was reopened in 1927. The bridge was ultimately removed in 1933 when the present-day Route 873 bridge, which I assume is this, was completed. 2017 Northern Lehigh Future Focus. Okay. And I clarified that the town of Comerton is to the west, and Walnutport and Slatington are to the east. So we're gonna cross over this big bridge. Looks like there's a little trailhead down there with a parking lot. And then I'm assuming we're gonna cross the road and head up into that big mountain over there. We're entering Northampton County and Lehigh Township. There's some people frolicking, or just not frolicking, but they're having some fun down there by the water. I was thinking it's very, very nice that the bridge engineers and developers included this pedestrian walkway so that Riley and I can walk safely across the bridge without having to worry about all the traffic. My pack feels heavier with the 4 liters of water, but at the same time I know that it's necessary to carry. So it's kind of a mental thing in that even though it's heavy, since I know it's absolutely necessary, I don't feel bad at all about it, and it's not bothering me right now. I'm guessing later today, by the end of the day, there will be times where I feel like the pack is pretty heavy and I'll want to take a break to rest my shoulders, but for now it's fine. All right, so checking in again here. We crossed the bridge and we're on the other side of it now, and we had a little bit of a road walk to get back into the woods. Well, not really the woods, but just get back onto the mountain on the other side. And now we have a big climb. We've actually already done a significant portion of it. Riley requested a break earlier, shortly after we got back onto the trail. Riley, this way, Riley. All right. Okay, Riley, almost, buddy. Come on, buddy. Riley, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, Riley. There you go, Riley. Awesome. Good job. Amazing. Bravo. All right, yeah, so I mean, when we were doing that short road walk, it was nothing pretty. We were just walking on the inside of a shoulder to stay away from the traffic. And Riley was getting hot. It's definitely turned into a warm day, especially with all the exertion we're going through, and there's lots of exposed areas. Yeah, so we took a break, and then I insisted we continue on after a pretty long break. And we did a good bit of hiking. I mean, we're up, you can see we're up pretty high right now. That's the bridge that we crossed over down there. And we just came basically from that mountain over there. And now that way is Slatington and Walnutport. And on the other side of the bridge, that way is Palmerton. And Riley's like, let's go, dude. So Riley, let me go. Riley, hey, let me go first, buddy. Hold up, I know, Riley. You're doing awesome, buddy. Hold up, me first, Riley. So, I remember this climb. Oh, Riley, dude, I need to go first, buddy. Ah, Riley, hold up. I know, Riley. Hey, back up. Calm down. Riley, hold up, buddy. Stay there. Stay there. Okay. Yeah, so I remember this climb from my 2018 hike. It's very steep, and then when we get up to the top, it's gonna kind of turn into rock climbing. So this is the easy part here, just ascending on the trail where you can easily place your feet, but we're gonna have to do some climbing. So it wants us to go up here. There you go, Riley. Good job. But once we get... Come on, Riley. Over here, buddy. There you go. Good job. Once we get up this thing, this is the last significant climb until Delaware Water Gap. So the last significant climb in Pennsylvania. And it's a good one. Definitely a good one. I think we will take a break once we get back into the woods after we're finished with this climb. Another view here. Very good. And we got more up to do. And more up to do. Hold up, buddies. Hold up. So I think we got to go up there. We can do that. That's a nice break spot, actually. It's in the shade. Yep. All right, I think I'm gonna let Riley take a break here and we'll check back in. All right, so quick break. Riley is charging ahead. Riley, hold up, buddy. Hold up. Hold up, Riley, hold up. Almost, buddy. Here, let's go over here, Riley. Good job. All right, Riley, hold up. Hold up, Riley, stay there. All right, now I think we go this way. Come on, Riley. Hold up, stay there. Hold up. Riley, come on. There's a white blaze right there. Hold up. Riley, hold up. Stay there. Hold up, buddy. All right. So, I don't see any white blazes over there. Right? I don't. I think we need to climb up this thing. This is crazy. All right, let's get up here. Come on, Riley. Come on. There's a water source right there. Aha, a blaze right there. Okay. Come on, let's get up here, Riley. Riley, hold up. Stay there. Riley, stay there. Oh, buddy. Stay there, Riley. Riley. You got four legs. That's very helpful, Riley. Just stay put, Riley. Riley, hold up. Riley. Back here. Riley, back here. Hold up. Stay there, Riley. Stay there. Come here. Come here, Riley. Hold up. You're fine, Riley. Come on. Whoops. Come on, buddy. There you go, Riley. There you go. Very good, Riley. Hold up. Well, that was challenging. Okay. That was challenging. Riley, come here. Come here, buddy. Riley, hold up. Gotta get you untangled here, Riley. There you go. Riley, hold up. Riley, hold up. Stay there, Riley. We're close to the top here. Close to the top here. All right, hold up, buddy. All right, now what do we gotta do? So white blaze there, white blaze over there, okay. All right, I think we're gonna take a break here, actually. This is a good spot. Another short break. Kind of feel like it's best to just get this thing completed. Riley, I think good. Okay. Let's try going up this way, Riley. I don't know. This is sketchy here, Riley. This is sketchy here. Riley, hold up. Hold up, dude. Where are you going, Riley? Come on. Come on, Riley. Riley, come here, buddy. Riley. All right, I think I need to take my pack off here. Oh, buddy. You want to go up this way, Riley? Hold, Riley. No, 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 no. No, Riley. Riley is just pulling me in the opposite direction. Riley, stay there. Riley, stay there, buddy. Stay there. Riley, come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. Riley, come on. Riley just wants to take a break there. He's like, let's take a break. It'd be nice to just get this over with, but we got to do it safely. Riley, what's going on, man? So I think if I can get Riley right there, he can either jump up there or I can lift him up there. Riley, come on. Riley, come on. Riley, over here, buddy. Come on. Over here. Here. No, up this way. Come on. There you go, buddy. Good boy. All right. Come on. Riley, come on. Hold up. All right, buddy. Why does this branch have to be in the way? Riley, why didn't you cut this branch down before we got here? And this rock is like in the way too. Come here, Riley. Come here, buddy. Come here. I know, Riley. This is tough, Riley. We're so close. We're so close. All right, I'm gonna take my pack off here. And I'm gonna set it down here. Not sure if this is the best or not. Hey, buddy. Good boy, Riley. Good boy. The sun is directly overhead. Riley, come on. I got you, buddy. I got you, buddy. There you go, Riley. Hold up, buddy. All right, now I'm gonna get up here, get Riley secure, and then get my pack again. Riley, stay here, buddy. Stay here. Riley, stay here. Hold up, buddy. Stay here. Stay there, Riley. Stay there, Riley. Stay there, Riley. Okay. I don't think Riley's going anywhere. He doesn't even want to go anywhere. But I'll just clip him to this, and then I'll get my pack. It's okay, Riley. It's okay, buddy. Okay. All right, buddy. Almost there. Stay there. Riley, no, stay there, buddy. Stay there. No, stay there. Riley, come on. Come on, Riley. Come on. Riley, come on. Come on. Come on, Riley. There you go, buddy. Good boy. Alright, Riley, come on. This way, buddy. Come on, Riley. Riley, stay there. You're fine, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. Come on. Riley, you're fine. Alright. Give you some space here, Riley. Riley, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. There you go, Riley. There you go, buddy. Good job. Riley, this way, come on. Riley, Riley. Riley. Okay. All right, so Riley's found a break spot, so we're gonna take a break here. So this is what the view looks like, by the way. For anyone that wants to appreciate the view, while Riley and I are just trying to stay alive here. Come on, Riley. Gotta go over there. All right, we're fine. All right, we're gonna go, yep, over here. now. Hold up, buddy. I think we need to go that way. Okay. Come on, buddy. Finally, we're on some steady footing here. Riley, up here, come on. Come on. Riley, up here. Hold up, buddy. Hold up. Hold up, Riley. Okay. Riley, hold up. Riley, hold up, buddy. This way, come on. Come on. I don't know that Riley knows that he's supposed to follow the white blazes, but he's doing a very good job of following the trail without me having to direct him. So you just get over that crazy section of rocks and we got to do more uphill. Okay. All right, so Riley, come on, buddy. We got to be close to, I mean, oh. Good choice, Riley. All right, so we're gonna take a break here. We have some shade. We're in a safe spot. I think we're over the worst of it. All right, so. Good job, Riley. Good job, buddy. So at least we got through it. That's definitely one of the most challenging sections, I would say, of the trail. And anyway, it is what it is. We had to get through it and we got through it. So yes, this is me at eye level. This is Riley. It's good that he picked a shitty spot. All right, so we'll check in later. Bye for now. That's what we got to do still. And we're back here. Now I have a smile on my face. I'm just glad that we got through that. Mr. Riley did so well. So well. All right, I'm gonna let him catch his breath and yeah, we'll just check in later. Okay, bye. All right, so Riley and I are back. We're still kicking. We took a long break back there, and then we continued on, and we've taken at least a couple other breaks since then. I think these breaks are partly just because we're working hard, but I think it's mostly because it's a really hot day today. And a lot of the walking is exposed without any shade, just like this. So we're just kind of concluding this, I mean, there could be more, I guess, but for this stretch, we're concluding this walk on top of these rocks. This kind of feels like a preview of what it's, a little bit what it's like in the White Mountains when you just have lots of open views. I guess we only have open views to our right. To our left, there are still trees. Whoops. It's a little too hot for my liking today, and for Riley's liking. So there's a couple road crossings ahead of us. There's one in actually just a few miles. That happens to be the road crossing that I met my parents at in 2018. Which I talked about yesterday. And that is a road crossing where there have been water drops recently. According to the latest comments on Far Out, it seems like the latest water drop is has been used up, so there's nothing there. But it's possible that someone has replenished it. I'm sure whoever put it there, yeah, who knows? I mean, I would think whoever put it there, or whichever group put it there, is probably trying to monitor it fairly often, so that it can be as useful as possible to hikers. Anyway, we still have, I've used a little bit of water. We still have well over 3 liters on us, so we're fine on water for now. But then after this next road crossing, there's a road crossing called Smith Gap Road, and according to the latest comments, someone left like 16 gallons of water there a few days ago, and as of 2 days ago there was still water there, and I haven't gotten any updates since then. I mean, the latest updates I would have gotten would have been as of yesterday, when I downloaded everything from Far Out, and then it only updates whenever I download the latest comments. Anyway, so Smith Gap Road is probably about 10 miles ahead. And if we don't get there today, we'll get there tomorrow probably. So there will probably be water there. And then 8 miles ahead of that, there's a road that leads into the town of Wind Gap, or Wind Gap, PA. And most of the businesses are about a mile from the road crossing, but there is a hotel called Gateway Hotel that is supposed to be hiker friendly, and they have like a resupply things on sale for resupply, but the main thing is you can fill up water there. So that's at mile like 1281, which is about 20 miles north of where we filled our water up earlier today. So that's excellent. So even if there's no water at the upcoming water caches at either of the road crossings, we should be able to count on replenishing our water when we get to that road crossing that goes into Wind Gap at the Gateway Hotel. And that's like 16 miles south of Delaware Water Gap. There are other options for getting more water, but they're much longer walks. There's a couple options that are like a 6/10 of a mile walk, which would turn into 1.2 miles for round trip. And then there's a shelter at mile 1277 called Leroy Smith Shelter, which does have a water source. But I think the only one that's not dry is about a half mile from the shelter. And the shelter itself is 0.2 off the trail, so that's a combined total of 0.7, which turns into a 1.4 mile walk, which is really far. Come on, buddy. So I had forgotten earlier that there's this Gateway Hotel that is only 0.2 off the trail, where you can fill up your water just directly from a faucet or from a spigot. So that's good news. Good news. Riley is panting. It's hot. We've been walking on rocks after rocks after rocks after rocks. We're being roasted by the sun. I'm sick and tired of these views. I don't care about these views. It's just the same view after the same view. I've seen enough of, I guess it's Palmerton. I've seen enough of Palmerton. Good for Palmerton, it's down there. I would like to get back into under the tree line and get protected by some shade. This trail right here is not so bad. We were on much rockier terrain before, and at least we're not going up that crazy rock climb that we did before, where we could have easily just fallen and had something really bad happen. So at least we're on safe ground right now. It could always be worse. We have more rocks now. More rocks. So Van Gogh is frustrated. Riley is doing awesome, even though he's tired. And I'm tired too. But yeah, it seems like the geography has shifted a bit ever since we got across the Lehigh River. We haven't really been in a true forest at all. It's almost like we're in the desert. Almost. I'm sure there's forest up at some point, but I don't see anything resembling a forest as of yet. All right, so the point is, I'm frustrated, and I'm gonna stop saying I'm frustrated 50 times in a row, and we'll check in later. It'll get better. Have some patience, Van Gogh. So we just came up the trail from that way, and I saw this thing. This looks kind of cool. It's like a little rock shelter. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Riley, come on, buddy. Come on, Riley. Continuing on. This is my face here. We're making slow, incremental progress. We took a really, really long break about a mile ago, a little over a mile ago. That was after a good stretch of hiking, and we finally found like a nice little flat spot with some pine needles that was mostly shaded, and so Riley was able to try to catch his breath, and I gave him water and then food and water, and he drank it all up and ate it all up. And it's still kind of warm, and it's like after 6 p.m. right now. That's where the sun is. We're approaching Blue Mountain Road. And we're fighting to get our daily miles in. I think we'll get there, but we're struggling to. Obviously, both of our health and safety is paramount and takes priority. So, we're gonna keep hiking and we'll check in later. So this is Blue Mountain Road. That's one of the signs I was talking about. At each road crossing, they have a sign like this: Appalachian Trail, Maine to Georgia, indicating south direction and north direction. So that's the road where I met my parents on my 2018 hike, and we went to the Blue Mountain restaurant and ice cream place. I see no evidence of a water cache here whatsoever. So I would describe myself as a purist, and that I like to hike the entire trail. I don't want to skip any sections. I have no interest or desire in skipping any sections. I just want to do the hike, and I take pride in that. And I'm such a purist that one thing that I remember from my 2018 hike is when I met my parents, they parked the car when they picked me up on the same side that I was coming out, and then we drove to the restaurant and had our food, and then when they drove me back, they were obviously driving back in the opposite lane, and they parked the car on the side of the road, and I got out and I continued on the hike. And I didn't even realize at the time that I skipped the road crossing. I never actually crossed the road on my own. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's a big enough deal that I remember it, and then I'm talking about it now. And had I thought about it at the time, I would have just walked back to the other side of the road where I had last left off, and I would have just crossed the road. But I completely didn't think about it at the time, but then I realized it later that I didn't. I did not cross the road on my own. So it's not like it invalidates my hike in 2018, and it's not, like I said, it's not a big deal, but definitely something I remember though. And so now that I'm back in 2024, I crossed the road, so I made amends for that. All right, Van Gogh and Riley here. We are still hiking. Oh, Riley just stopped. Why did you just stop, Riley? Can we go? Oh no, he's not letting me go. Riley's plopping down. Oh no, just when I turn the camera on. Okay. So we can take a little break here. So, little update here. Let's see. So, the whole day we hadn't seen any northbound hikers, and when we got water just 1/10 of a mile past George Outerbridge Shelter, there was a teenager and I think his dad that were hiking southbound, and they passed us while we were stopped to get water. And for the whole day, those were the only two hikers that we had seen. And then, Riley, come on, Riley. We should just keep hiking while I'm talking so that we can get to our campsite. And then about 7 o'clock,
we passed another hiker, a solo female hiker who was hiking southbound. So she was like the second hiking party that we saw. Anyway, so we were passed by two hikers, Squeeze and Dribble. We've met them before. They were, I first met them actually at Pine Grove Furnace State Park when I was doing the half-gallon challenge, and they hiked in. And then we've crossed paths with each other a couple times since then. They were also at the 501 shelter. Anyway, so we were hiking and I heard voices behind me. Okay, so they passed us, I think it was about 8 o'clock or so at this point. And Riley and I were going at a regular, relatively slow pace at that point. But they passed us, and that energized Riley so much. And so I was able to hike much faster then. They were in front of us, and I tried to keep up with them for a little bit, but they eventually got ahead of us far enough that I couldn't see them anymore. But they were never that far ahead of us. And anyway, so they just provided a lot of motivation for Riley to hike on this evening. And we ended up getting to a set of power lines a short while back, and a couple tenths of a mile, or 3/10 of a mile after that, there was a campsite, and Squeeze and Dribble decided to stop there, and we caught up to them shortly after. So the main thing is just that it was awesome that, you know, very fortunate for the other two hikers to catch up to us and give Riley some extra motivation. It definitely made it easier on me. Yeah, so Squeeze and Dribble got to their campsite. There was actually a third spot, and when Riley and I got there, they offered us to stay there, and I was seriously thinking about staying there, but then I decided it seemed like we would be pretty cramped, and there was another campsite that I believe exists about 9/10 of a mile ahead of the spot where they're at, and I feel like Riley and I will, or maybe just me, I feel like I'll be more comfortable just having the extra room of our own campsite to ourselves. So I thanked them, but I thanked them for offering us the third spot to be able to stay there if we wanted to stop. But ultimately we are continuing on, but I don't think we have far to go. It should just be 9/10 of a mile after the spot that we just left. So we should be getting there soon. The trail difficulty has improved considerably, like in the positive direction, meaning it's less difficult. So we just gotta hike a little bit further. And yeah, I'm gonna stop now, and then I'll just provide a few closing thoughts once we get to our campsite. Okay, bye for now. All right, good evening. Riley and I are checking in to close out the day. Riley is sleeping right now. We are both in our tent. We are at mile 1272 right now, according to Far Out, and we hiked, well, we started at mile 1257.3, so that means we hiked 14.7 miles on the day.
Yeah, so we ended up hiking 1.7 miles after those power lines, and the two girls, they camped 3/10 of a mile after the power lines, so we ended up hiking another 1.4 miles after passing up the campsite that the two girls, Squeeze and Dribble, offered us. By the way, it's a little after 11 p.m. right now. And I thought we were only going to have to hike like 9/10 of a mile to get to mile 1271.5. But I didn't see a good campsite there, even though there was a comment in Far Out that said there should be a campsite there. So, I mean, there was a spot that could have worked, but it didn't look like an ideal spot, and it just didn't look like a true campsite. So I decided to continue hiking on. There was a comment in Far Out also that there would be a campsite at mile 1272, and I've had some bad luck with looking for campsites that people have mentioned on Far Out and not finding them. But fortunately, we did find this one. It was right at mile 1272, and it's a small site, but it's got enough space for our tent. So we're here. Also, on the way, we saw three animals. I think they were skunks. They could have been raccoons, but I think they were skunks, and I'm not totally sure. We came upon two of them, and this is the first time on the trail, like on the trail this year, or any of the previous years that I've hiked, that I remember seeing these animals. And we were just hiking, and I just saw these two animals in the middle of the trail, like 10 or 15 feet in front of us. And Riley saw them as well, and so I quickly grabbed his leash because Riley wanted to run after them. But they didn't respond to us. They were just going about their business. They didn't care about us. So I yelled to get off the trail, and then one of them kind of got away, but the other one was still hanging around. So I started to pick up some rocks and throw it in their direction. And eventually the other one moved off trail. But I feel like it moved off trail just because it was ready to move off trail, not necessarily because I was trying to get it to move off trail. Anyway, so we eventually were able to hike on. And then we saw another one. And this time, Riley saw it before me and started to chase after it. And he caught me by surprise, and I ended up falling down. Fortunately, I didn't hurt myself. And Riley didn't drag me. I just fell down. And I stayed down for a little while and to collect myself, and then eventually got back up. And by that time, the animal was gone, and we were able to hike on. Anyway, so that was interesting. I don't know exactly what animal it was. About the size of a raccoon or a skunk. And I have a feeling it was a skunk. And if it was, fortunately, it didn't spray us. So, that was interesting. I had some T-Mobile service when I got here, so I tried updating my Far Out comments. And we're currently 1.8 miles away from Smith Gap Road, which is where the water cache is that I'm expecting. Currently, when we got here, we had about 2.25 liters of water. and I just drank about a quarter of the liter, so we have 2 liters left. And we still need to eat some stuff, so we're going to use some tonight. Anyway, so I updated the far out comments, and the latest comment on the water cache was yesterday as of 4 p.m. and it said that there were 7 gallons left. And a comment 2 days ago, or not on 7:30, but a comment on 7:28, so 2 days before yesterday's comment, said that there were 11 gallons left. So that means that between 7:28 and 7:30, about 4 gallons were consumed. And anyway, so 7 gallons were there as of 4 p.m. yesterday. So hopefully there's still some left. And the person that's putting this water there, she's actually checking far out. And she has a handle called Water Woman PA. And when she puts water there, she puts a comment on far out saying that she like replenished the water cache, and then she asks people to leave comments to say how much is left, so that she knows when she needs to go back to restock it. So she is restocking it, which is great. So anyway, so Riley and I should get there tomorrow morning, and hopefully there's water there. If not, then, I mean, it seems likely that there will be water there, but if not, we might need to walk 0.6 of a mile down the road to get to another water source. Depending on how much water we start with tomorrow. So we'll see. Yeah, overall today was a tough day. It was definitely tough hiking up out of Lehigh Gap. That was a crazy rock scramble that we went through, and I did almost lose my balance. I did lose my balance, and I almost fell. And thank goodness I did not fall. And then after that, it was just a hot day. It was a hot day, and Riley got really tired. And we took multiple breaks. And fortunately, it cooled down eventually. And then when Squeeze and Dribble came by, that was wonderful. It motivated Riley to hike faster, and we made some good miles with that. Anyway, so Riley's getting his rest now, and that's all I can think to say. So we're gonna check in tomorrow. Tomorrow will be August 1st, and it'll be day number 91. Good night. Hope everyone is doing well, and bye for now.